I gathered 10 of your favorite tips and tricks for Google Spreadsheet. Enjoy this compilation. How you can generate barcodes directly in Google Spreadsheet. So we are going to turn the number from the column A into a barcode. It will be exactly the same number. In your case, maybe you need a different number, so feel free to use some kind of formula. All right, so that's also possible. We can use this number plus 10 or something like that, or add 10 at the end or the beginning. That's fine, we can do that. But first, let me show you how we can convert exactly this number into a barcode. So we're going to make a little formula equals, and then this cell, A2. So now, this is exactly the same number. They want to autofill for us, we can click OK. If they don't suggest autofill, you can do it yourself by dragging this all the way down. All right. So now it's exactly the same number in the barcode column. What we need to do is to simply select all of that and change the font to display those numbers as barcodes. So head to Fonts, click More Fonts, and search for barcode. Just type barcode, and you will see several fonts that can be displayed as barcode. Let's start with the first one, Libre Barcode 39. Click OK. And as you can see, all of our numbers are now converted into barcodes. Keep in mind, they're pretty small, so let's enlarge this font. Don't forget to also make more space by modifying the cell size. We can do it also by selecting all of the rows. So let me just undo. I click on the row number 2, Shift Command arrow down, everything selected nicely. Or you can click here at the top corner, and now you select the whole thing. And this way you can quickly modify the size. Nice. So now we got visible barcode. We can also select the whole thing to be sure everything is nicely aligned. Okay, so this barcode is exactly a number on the left. If you change the number, the barcode changed automatically, so that's nice. Keep in mind, you don't need to use exact same number. You can use some stuff like plus 10 as the text at the end, and this will also be included in your barcode. So if you got some formatting related to your thing, you can do it as well without worries. All right, so that's the easiest method of generating barcodes without any plugin or hassle. How to calculate average in Google Spreadsheet. First, I will position myself below numbers I want to calculate. So click on that cell, head to Insert and search for Functions. So there's a Function tab where you can select Popular Function, or you can even dig deeper in many categories. But the average is at the very top. It's very often used, so click Average. And now you can use your mouse to select the range. So I click on the top and select the range, still holding my mouse, highlight the range, and then just hit Enter or Return, and we are done. You can do all of that without using the Insert tab as well. So if you just simply position yourself on this cell, start typing equals average, and then B2 to B6. That's my range. Then confirm, and that's my average number. So there are two main ways. One is to use the Insert tab when you can insert different functions. Or if you remember the function, you can just type it from your keyboard. How to insert graph and charts in Google Spreadsheet. Simply select the data first. So select the data that you want to represent in your chart. Click and hold your mouse and make it highlighted, like this. Then head to the Insert section at the top, and from here you'll be able to insert the chart. After you click chart, you will get this default chart. Usually it's a pie chart, but don't worry. Now you can explore different chart types in the chart editor on the right side of your screen. So there are different types we can use in our case. So we also all depends on the data that you put. For me, I got two columns, one with letter, one with numbers. So actually sticking to some kind of pie or donut chart will be a very beneficial for me. So I changed this to donut chart, and now I can customize it even further using this right side of the screen. So we got those general options like data type and data range here. I already select my data from beginning, so I don't need to worry about my data range. Now, after I change my chart type, I can move to customize, where I can customize it even further. I can make it a bit of 3D, maximize the chart. You can change the backdrop color, even you can set up none, and then the background is transparent, so you can see what is below the chart. We can change the size of that donut hole at the center. We can modify fonts, colors, and labels. Everything's here. And if you already set up the chart and then you want to make some changes later, click on the chart and you will see those three dots, this little snowman here. Everything from changing the chart type, modifying a data range. Let's do that just now. Let's make it to B7. And now I will be able to put additional content here, and it appears on my chart because I add that row to my data range. All right, so that's how you can add a chart. The easiest way is to select your data first, make it highlighted, insert, and then chart. I hope this short tutorial was helpful. Keep in mind, there's also a chart icon here in the bar. If your screen is big enough, you will be able to see it. Insert chart right here. If you cannot see your icons, click this little button on the right to see all of the icons. If your screen is wide enough, you'll be able to see insert chart from here, or as I showed you before, there's insert section at the top. Did you know that now we are able to ask Google Gemini AI for help while working inside Google Spreadsheet? It's available almost in all regions now. They've been enrolling this country by country, so I hope it's already in your region as well. You can see the Gemini icon next to the profile picture, so click on that, and you will get the panel on the right side. Now you can ask about several things. You can ask them to create the formulas for you by describing what numbers do you need, or you can ask them to teach you how to do something like conditional formatting, for example. So teach me how, use conditional formatting, and they will kind of guide you through the software step by step and explain how it can be done in Google Spreadsheet. Here it is, step by step, how to do it. All right, let's ask to calculate average. And I just get a formula here on the left that I can take and use. They even gave me the result before I use it. So that's really cool thing. You can kind of have this conversation with Gemini and then decide that you want to actually use this stuff or no. Let's check that the formula they provide is correct. It is, and the result is very same. So it seems like it can analyze your spreadsheet and kind of understand what's on it. I think it's definitely an interesting feature, and it will help us to analyze, create formulas, and add different charts in the near future. Let me show you how to create a drop-down menu in your... Today, I will show you how to create a drop-down in Google Spreadsheet. Select a cell where you want to insert your drop-down. Then head to Data menu at the top. And here we need to search for Data Validation. Click on that option. And we want to add a rule. From here, you will be able to design your dropdown. That's the very first option here at the top. We can add options simply by adjusting those colors and renaming your options. We can add multiple new items as well. And then when you are ready, simply click done. Now you got this drop down when you can select one of the options that you have prepared before. Here it is, option 2. And that's how easy it is to add a drop down menu in Google Spreadsheet. Let me show you how to display negative numbers in parentheses, like in the accounting style, you could say, using Google Spreadsheet. So by default, you simply got the minus in front of the number. If you want to change the way it looks, simply select your numbers or select the whole document by clicking on this area between first row and the first column here. Everything is blue, everything is highlighted. Now we can change the way it's displayed. So go for more formats over here. It's got this little icon 1, 2, 3, and you will be able to search for accounting format. If you turn it on, now your negative numbers are displayed in parentheses. Take a look. Instead of minus 20, we got 20 in parentheses. There's also a currency on the left, by default US dollars. And you may notice this one, row number 5, that was 0. It's kind of nothing right now in the accounting manner. So that's how you can do it. Simply select your document or the area you want and search for more formats over here at the top. Keep in mind, you can customize it further. You can change to finance if you don't need the currency at front. So it's very similar. The difference is there's not currency at front and the 0 will be still 0. How to create boldy lines in Google Spreadsheet. By default, you will see those gray-like lines. They are indicating transparency. So actually there's no color here in those cells. I got this one table here on the left with the black color, and that will be exported nicely, but everything else is kind of transparent. So if you want to add boldy lines, you just select the area that will be affected and go to your border options here at the top. From here, we can select border color and we can decide how thick the line will be. Let's pick the boldest one here and now apply to all borders selected. Just like that. We can reverse that by using a clean border option here. Let's apply a thinner border first to all, and then I can go to border again, and this time I can pick a thick line and apply this only to all the borders to combine thin and thick lines into one composition. So that's how you can do it. Select your cells, go to border option, change line from this thin one to the thick one, and apply. Depends on your needs, whatever it is. All around or only on one side, like that. How to sort your spreadsheet alphabetically based on one column. So here I am in my sample document. As you can see, in column A I got letters, so let's use that first. Hover your mouse at the very top until you see this little triangle. Open this menu and you will see sort sheet from A to Z or from Z to A. From A to Z, and here it is. We got the correct order. We can do the reverse order as well. It's affecting the whole spreadsheet, not only this column. We're using this whole column as the guidance, but we can use numbers as well. So what if I apply the sorting here from A to Z? Now we got the smallest number first until the largest value. And as you can see, the column A also changed because we changed the order of our rows. And again, we can do from Z to A, and now we got the highest value at the top to the lowest value at the bottom. So it's pretty easy. Just hover your mouse at the top until you see the triangle and you got this additional menu with options. For us, we're using sorting today. You probably know how to insert a column or a row. You simply right-click on the certain column or row and you will have option to insert one column on the left or right. But it's going to be a really slow process if you need multiple columns or rows. So there's a handy trick. If you, for example, need exactly 3 columns, you can try to select 3 columns first, and then when you right-click, you will see option to insert 3 column on the right. So the selection matters. More you select, more you'll be able to insert in just one click. So it's very handy, especially for rows. If I need 10 more rows here, I select 10 rows, right click, and now I got option to add 10 above or below very quickly. So we don't need to add them one by one. You can also refer to insert section at the top when you can insert rows and columns from here instead of right clicking. Keep in mind, by default it's just one, but more you select, more you will have option to add from the insert tab as well. Here it is, 10 more rows above. That's how you can insert multiple columns and rows in just one click. Let me show you how to make a timeline calendar using just Google Spreadsheet. So we're going to use a column B and the very first cell here at the top to type a first date. I like to do it monthly basis, so I'll start from the first day of the month. So I just type it here. 1st March 2024, and keep in mind the program will recognize this as a date automatically, but from now you can modify the date format to match your region format. So we can click more formats here on the right at the very top, and then you can modify the format for the date. If you cannot see a format here that you like, simply go to custom date and time, and from here there are so many different formats to choose from, right? But you can even create your own by combining several of those features. So day, month, and year, you can move it around. You can have month first, day, month as the number, month as the text. Everything's here for you to choose from. So let's stick with the default for this presentation. I like to center that, make it bold and a bit larger. All right. And from now we can do a trick. You probably know that I can just drag this to fill this area, but we can do it a way better. We can actually do equation. So I move to the next cell, equals, pick the previous cell, B1, and then plus 1. And it will work. Now here on the 2nd March. And this way you can now continue with this formula until we got the whole month cover. If you run out of cells, don't worry, we can always add more cells. Simply right click at the top and you can insert column on the right, but better way is to select several columns and then we can insert them on the right. And this we will insert the same number of columns. All right, we are done here. And as I mentioned, we can still reformat the date. So I can click number 1 here to select the whole row. You can even change the format right now. So if you decide that this date is a bit too long, we can head to custom date and select something like this one. We know the year, so let's pick a day and the month only. Nice. All right, so now we got set up the date at the top, and the cool part is if you want to reuse the same template next month, you can just duplicate this whole spreadsheet, right? We got a copy of sheet 1 and then change the date at the first one. So I changed this date here. And now we are in April because every other column, simply copy the date from the previous cell and add 1, so next day. And we are in April and we got May popping up here. We can delete the whole column for April, right click and delete the column. Alright, and that's how you can set up a very nice timeline calendar. And the good part is now we got this whole bottom part empty for you. So you can now split into different sections. So you can make one section about, I don't know, work. So we can merge those cells and type work. And this whole section will be for you to note stuff for your work. We can mark it with color. Alright, and you go to one section for work stuff, and then you can type for 1st April whatever you plan to do at work. That's nice. And then we can make a next section below. So that's the advantage of timeline calendar, that we got our dates running from left to right, and then everything we want to do is from the top to the bottom. So we got so much space to type stuff down, and we can keep different calendars like work, home, family in one place because there's enough space for us. It's really easy to track day by day this way. Alright, I hope this short tutorial helped you to set up your own timeline and use it as the calendar. See you in the next one.